So for the past couple weeks, I've been seriously thinking about the type of gamer that I was and the type of gamer that I am right now. And of course, a lot has changed. A lot changes when you get older. All your habits change. Sometimes you keep your old habits. You know, you're bad. Usually it's the bad habits that you keep. Sometimes, you know, things change up. And for the most part, I can say that I'm still kind of the same gamer that I used to be. Of course, I don't stay up and game all night like I used to when I was younger, but for the most part, the type of games that I used to like, I still do kind of like. And that just brings me into this whole retro gaming. Like, to be honest with you guys, I'm almost 30 years old, and I don't think my retro game collection is up to par with what it should be. I should be paying homage to the games that made me the type of gamer that I am today. That's just the way I look at it. And I really don't have that big of a retro game collection. So I've been thinking about it, and I really want to start getting into retro gaming. Now, I know a lot of you out there are probably like, what's the point of doing that? You know, it's 2009. Why are you trying to go back to 1985 or 1991? Whatever the case may be, to each its own. But I'm just telling you, from my standpoint, I'm starting to really get into these retro games. I mean, it's good to sit down and play games and see where they came from, or remember just getting that old nostalgic feeling of when you were 11 years old and you sat down in front of the TV and played Sonic for hours. I mean, that type of stuff. I just really want to go back to retro gaming and see where my roots came from, my gaming roots. So, I've been trying to find places where I can maybe pick up some old systems. I'm really looking for a Nintendo, original Nintendo. Even if I could get a top loader, that'd be great. Genesis, more Super Nintendo games, just all types of stuff. Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, PlayStation. Just trying to enhance my retro gaming collection. Now, I will tell you guys, I got some tips from other channels. You know, check out yard sales, flea markets. I haven't checked out a flea market yet, okay? Flea markets, they come and go in this area, not too many. I don't have any gaming stores that are like mom and pop shops. Here in Maryland, GameStop rules the video game community. Everything is GameStop, all current generation, PS2, Xbox, GameCube. Nothing past that, so that kind of stinks. But what I have been looking for is, you know, yard sales. So the last 2 weeks, my son and I have been getting up, going to yard sales, and we've been unsuccessful until today. We woke up early today, went to a yard sale, and I walked away a happy camper. Now, I'm not as happy as I could have been, but I walked away happy. Okay, so I just pull up to this random yard sale, checking the stuff out, and I look on the table with all the other electronic stuff, and I see a Bath and Body Works bag just sitting there with something popping out of it. That something was a Sega Genesis, and it's in awesome condition. There are a few scratches up here at the top, you can see that, but for the most part, amazing condition. Everything works perfectly. Awesome. So I talked to the lady, and she tells me, oh, you're like a minute late because I had a Nintendo sitting there with 18 games, and I had a PlayStation with like 5 games. I didn't really care about the PlayStation, but the Nintendo would have been perfect. 18 Nintendo games sounds perfect to me. They also had a Game Boy Advance, but I really wasn't looking forward to that. Like, and it only had Game Boy Color games. Really not into that. Although I would like to start collecting Game Boy Color games and Game Boy Advance games, more of those. The selection of the Game Boy Color games, I just didn't really like. But anyway, got this Genesis that came with 2 controllers. Awesome condition, amazing condition. Yeah, everything. I'm just excited. So along with this Genesis came 6 games that I kind of remember, but I kind of don't. I definitely remember 3 of them. I don't remember the other 2, but I was happy for the selection of games. We'll start off with the Addams Family. This was the only game that wasn't in a box, and I remember playing this game. I don't know if I played it on the Super Nintendo or on the Genesis, but I got it for the Genesis, and I can't wait to pop this in to see what it's like. I remember this movie, and I used to love it. And I remember the game, and the game was fun. At least it was back then. I got this game, Subterranea. I have no clue what this game is. I guess it's some type of shoot 'em up. But it looks really cool. Open it up. We have the manual. And also there was this cool poster that was in there. Open this up for you guys so you can see. It's a Eternal Champions poster. Catch that? Okay, and on the back, you got Genesis games, Game Gear games, and Sega CD games. So it's a really cool poster. The lady that sold me this stuff was an older lady, and she said they were her daughters, and her daughter kept them in tip-top shape, awesome condition. So I'm really pleased about that. There are good people in this world that care about their things. So, Subterranea. We also have Animaniacs, which I was a fan of, but I never played the game. So, everything's still in there. We even got a product registration card from Konami in there, which is pretty cool. Miss Pac-Man, which I remember. Of course, who doesn't remember Miss Pac-Man? But I remember playing this on the Genesis, and it was a lot of fun. The manual and everything complete in there. Game in great condition. Then we have Tiny Toon Adventures Acme All-Stars, which I know nothing about. Of course I know Tiny Toon Adventures. Who didn't love that show? But yeah, everything's in there. And finally, the thing that pushed me over the edge, the favorite, or my favorite, the best Sonic game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Awesome, guys. Awesome. The manual's kind of jacked, but it's in there. A little bent up game. Works perfectly. This was the Sonic 2 that was sold in the bundle with the Genesis, because it says not for resale. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where this collection is going to take me. Those of you that have a Sega Genesis, let me know what games I should be looking forward to. One game I definitely remember like it was yesterday was Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and I definitely want to get that. And I remember, like, I guess a couple weeks ago checking out on eBay, and the prices on that was ridiculous. I refused to pay like $70 for Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I mean, I know the man died and everything, but come on now, the game is really not worth that much. So if you guys have any suggestions on Sega Genesis games for me to add to this collection, please leave them in the comments below, PM me, do whatever. Also, if you have any sites where I can, I don't know, try to find some used games for the Genesis, that'll be great as well. Now, I do have some other packages coming in, and I will definitely show them to you guys when I get them. But for now, I'm gone. I'll see you guys later.